Hey everyone, this episode is supported by Tailwind Nutrition, and I can't thank them enough. I was first introduced to Tailwind last year, and since then I've loved it. And I also love that other people and other athletes that I know use it as well. You know I love a good sweat, and it's summertime right now, and I am honestly sweating buckets right now. It has been hot, it's humid, and even though it's getting towards the end of summer, what I like about Tailwind is that I know that I am being taken care of. Tailwind has been great for me. It is something that's easy on my stomach. It gives me steady energy. It doesn't make fueling complicated. Tailwind combines calories, hydration, and electrolytes all in one drink. So I just fill up my bottle and I just get after it. It's easy. So whether you run, cycle, ski in the winter, maybe you roller ski in the summer, whatever you do, Tailwind is for you. So I just want to say thanks again to Tailwind Nutrition for supporting Tolle Run. If you all want to head over to tailwindnutrition.com and use the code TOLLE20, that's TOLLE20, you'll get 20% off your order. That's TOLLE20 for 20% off at tailwindnutrition.com. Today, we get to know one of the newest names on the professional running scene and your 2026 USATF 10,000 meter champion, Sydney Vaught. A lot of us first got to know her as Sydney Thorvaldson during the days that she ran for Arkansas, where she was an All-American and SEC champion and one of the top distance runners in the NCAAs. But a lot has changed for Sydney over the last year. She got married, she turned pro this spring, she signed with Nike, and has continued working with her college coach. And I would say the transition is going pretty darn well, considering she already has won her first U.S. title. Sydney grew up in Wyoming and now lives in Missouri with her husband, who just happens to be a real-life cowboy and competes in rodeos. How cool is that? So we are definitely going to get into that. We're going to know all about Sydney. She's going to tell us about her results. We're going to talk about her first season as a pro, what it felt like to win her first national championship, and also get fourth in the 5,000 meters. We talk about her transition from college to pro, training with Coach Burns, married life with 2 professional athletes, and what's next. So let's get after it. Sydney, thanks for coming on Tolle Run.
Thanks for having me.
I am so excited. I've been able to call a couple different races that you've been in, but I've never really gotten to chat with you. And obviously you're newer to the professional world. So it's really fun for me to introduce you to my audience, but also just for me to be able to get to know you more. So when I call all these races in the future, I know you. So thanks for taking the time. Where are you right now?
Currently, I'm in our little farmhouse in Cassville, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just got back earlier this week. We were in Wyoming visiting my family. After USA's, I took my break, which was finally since last cross country season when I was still in college,
right.
Took 2 weeks off, which was awesome. So it was awesome to be in Wyoming with my family and hanging out. But yeah, we just got back.
Yeah, well, let's get into that first before we get into your awesomeness, like winning your first U.S. championship. But I want to know a little bit about you. So we know, a lot of people know that you went to Arkansas, but you just mentioned it. You grew up in Wyoming, but now you're in Missouri for a little bit.
Correct.
But I don't, so let's just start way back when first. Tell us all about you. How did you get into the sport? How'd you grow up? All that stuff.
Wow, way back.
I know, we're going way, way back.
Yeah, I think, like most people, I started running when I was really young, but honestly, didn't take it that serious. My mom ran, she played volleyball in college, but then kind of around the time that she was starting to have kids, she was running for fun, and she was I think she was training for probably a half marathon or something, and I was probably 8 or so, and she would let me join in on the last, she would do a lap around the block or something, and I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed racing the kids at recess and stuff like that, and then ultimately just loved racing. I would do community races, and I just had so much fun with it, and there was never a sense of pressure or anything like that. And then I think probably more middle school when you could start doing track, and it was you could actually do running for a sport. It was maybe a little bit more serious, but still very just for fun. And I just did it because I loved it. And then I did all the sports. I did soccer, and then I did volleyball, I did basketball, and I did basketball until like halfway through high school probably. And would have continued doing volleyball as well if it didn't kind of coincide with, I guess it would be outdoor track. So, just loved doing all the sports. And then I think got to high school and realized that, I guess I kind of thought that I was good and like I could win like the state title for Wyoming, which like Wyoming isn't the most competitive in cross country by any means, but I thought that would just be the coolest thing to win one state title. And my freshman year I won a state title and it was just crazy. It was kind of fluke that I ended up going to Nike regionals. Like a friend had kind of invited me and said she was going, and I got into the elite race and I didn't think anything of it, qualified for nationals. And I think that kind of kick-started everything. Was just like, I was like, okay, maybe I am like pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, I just kept it super fun and relaxed and just enjoyed it and did it because I loved it all through high school and was super excited for all the places that it took me, obviously. Getting recruited for Arkansas and then continuing my career there was just spectacular. I feel like I'm still just like that little girl that's learning exactly like the steps and like how to run and like all of that. So it's been quite the journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to hear you talk about how much fun you had. And I mean, you ended up placing pretty high up at Nike Nationals when you were in high school. What were you, second or third?
Yeah, I think my best year, I think I was third, which again, like, I think going into it, it's like, I kind of always go back to this and I say this to a lot of people, but I truly just like, I think it's so important not to compare yourself to other people, but like truly in that sense, like I never once thought about like what these other girls were doing or kind of the backgrounds they had. Like in my head, we were all just high schoolers and we're all just going to race to the best of our ability. And I never thought of just like, well, they've done this workout and I could never do that. I just like had never thought of that. And so like even going into those races where like, I think in a way I was underprepared compared to a lot of my competition, but I just didn't know and didn't care to know. And I think that was the beauty of it for me was just like, I didn't keep track of my mileage in high school. I had no idea. I remember Coach Harder trying to recruit me and he was like, how much mileage? Like, what's your weekly mileage? And I was like, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That actually.
Yeah, I didn't know how to lap my watch until I got to college, and they're like, well, you just hit this button and it laps it. I'm like,
That's great.
So I think like a lot of it, it was just having fun.
Yeah. Did you stop your watch at stoplights? Did you have stoplights? I didn't have a stoplight in my hometown, so I never knew how to do that.
We had one or two. I did figure out how to stop and start the watch, but there was a lot of times like in my small town we had these routes that I didn't need a watch for most of my high school career. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't understand it. I was like, why do you need a watch if you're just going to be like,
run the
this
square,
is the route.
Run the section around the farm.
Exactly. And we would do like, especially in high school, it would be like, okay, we're going to run we had like a Super 8 and it was part of our route. We'd be like, okay, run to the Super 8 and run back. And then like the next time we do the run, maybe 2 weeks later, you go a little bit further. And so it was just like that sort of thing. Like there was no pressure. You didn't know how fast you were going. You just knew, well, I did further than last time. So
yeah, it's interesting that you talk about that. Actually, I was prepping for a live podcast that I have coming up in a couple weeks. And one of the women on the show is like, has a real hard time with some of the platforms that we have that we are able to log our miles on and share to the world. And, they basically are saying they're going to just not do that anymore because they're racing themselves. And then there's some athletes too, some pro athletes that are now throwing the watch off and saying, I can't do it anymore. Like I can't go out for an easy day and know that I, run 6:30 pace normally on an easy day, but I'm trying to run 6:25s or whatever. Like it is interesting how some of us grew up in areas where we didn't really have watches or we didn't care about watches or we did just run around this farm or we did the skunk hollow or whatever it is. And sometimes I wonder if we should go back to that.
Yeah, I think I would completely agree with that. I mean, there's been many times, especially now that I kind of know this area around Missouri where like it helps that I'm like in like these farm roads where they're like a mile each road. So I know
Yeah.
exactly how far I'm going. I've said like I sometimes don't start the watch at all and I just go. I
Good
know
for
how
you.
far I'm running and I like those have been my best runs because all I know is that I feel good. It's
Yeah.
going well. I have no idea like the pace or anything like that because it is so easy to get caught up in that. And then again with like all of like the Strava and posting everything, like
Yep.
comparing exactly what you did to someone else. And it's just, I think it's probably a dangerous rabbit hole to start going down.
It can be. I mean, there are good things. There are perks, right, of having all that
For
information.
sure.
But yes, I think that everyone has their own way of doing it and, to each their own. But I see how sometimes it gets really hard, especially in the era that you all are in right now, being able to almost race yourself into the ground at times.
Right, right. And like even going down like you said, it's not all bad. Like I think
Yeah.
in high school I loved having people that would post like their workouts or their runs because I had no concept of
Sure.
what was good and bad. And so at the same time, like I do think it can be a wonderful resource as well.
Yeah. Um, I want to still dig into your career, going to Arkansas and stuff like that. But I do want to talk a little bit about being here in Missouri, where you are now. You are married, so you are, a year. I'd still think a newlywed. Has it been a year?
I know, almost. We are like
Oh.
for like 2 weeks away. So it feels like just yesterday.
That's so fun. And your wedding pictures on your Instagram are just gorgeous. So cool.
Thanks.
Now, so you are married to a real life cowboy, a rodeo guy, a professional athlete.
Absolutely. I know. It's crazy. Both of us. Look at us.
I know. And did you know him? Like, tell us your love story a little bit.
Well, I don't know if it's much of a love story, but let's see. We met we met online.
You
first
did?
of all,
Cool.
which is new.
Now. You're old school in running,
yes.
but maybe fast forward in life.
I know. I'm always like, but it was honestly kind of a really tough time for me just because at that time I was super hurt, but still trying to run. It was during like this cross season where we just needed a fifth. And so whether I was first over the line or the last one, like they just needed a body. And
they needed you. That's the thing. They needed you, which is a lot of pressure when you're hurt. Mm-hmm.
It is. And especially like at the time I would consider myself a leader for the team. And so it was really important to me to be there and try and do what I could. But at the same time, I knew that like as soon as I hopefully crossed the line at nationals, that it was going to be a long road of recovery ahead. It's just a huge, like micro tears in the Achilles and just a bunch of other complications from that. So,
and let me just interject here that this is when you're still at Arkansas, because those that were listening to my open, Sydney just turned pro in the winter. So she was running for Arkansas up until, what was it when did you sign with Nike?
Mid-March. It was like the day after indoor nationals.
Yes. So she's talking about being at Arkansas this fall. Yes.
Yeah. And so, and this was, I can't remember the exact season, but it was a little while ago and I was just super struggling with honestly running. Just kind of, we were in transition with coaches. I felt like I couldn't really just run the way that I wanted to and just mentally just checked out. And I remember just kind of being like, this might be it for me. I'm not enjoying it anymore. And I remember kind of just like, saying like I almost just needed like a miracle, just something else, just like kind of help me out. And I met my now husband and he kind of was like, I think really helped me during that time because I needed something that wasn't running and I needed something that was like still very genuine, but it had nothing to do with running. And I didn't tell him that I ran for like the first few dates. Like I didn't want that to be the basis of anything. And I think he just kind of helped me deal with all of that and kind of just reminded me that like there's more to it than just running. Like you're not just a runner and like you can still enjoy doing other things. And so we met and it was kind of just like an instant kind of attraction and we hung out. We're basically inseparable ever since. And then he proposed last spring, and we were going to have our wedding this summer, but just couldn't wait. So got married. And
you guys were engaged for how long?
It was probably 3 months.
Love it. We were engaged for 5 months, so we didn't have much longer than you guys.
I loved it though, because everyone was like, how are you going to plan a wedding? But it was almost easier because I didn't have to worry about, well, in a year, is that still going to be what I want? Is it still going to be available?
I do too.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
I was
and
like,
you guys
no,
were
this is great.
outside. Were you on one of your farms, like, or were you at a venue?
No, we actually did like almost a destination wedding. We went to Texas and found a venue, and it was perfect for us. Like, it was like you could have your wedding party stay there for basically the whole weekend. So our wedding weekend was just like a huge, it was so much fun. It was perfect.
But you still had like, obviously in Texas, you know, you still had that like cowboy kind of type feel. Like it was very
absolutely
country,
very rustic,
and
Western.
Western. There we go. I needed the words.
Yes.
So cool. So so you're married to this great athlete himself. I've seen some of his posts, and wow. I mean, awesome. I love how what's it called? When he's roping the
rope. He's very impressive.
Did I just say the right word? Is it roping?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I know more than I think I do. I love it. I haven't been to a rodeo, though, in a long time. We used to go growing up, and actually, I think my kids would love it. But we just haven't, life has just been busy with other sports and stuff. But I do think it would be really cool to go to.
Yeah, they're so much fun. It's hard because, his kind of peak season is also typically my peak season. So sometimes I feel like we're kind of both gone. But no, he's awesome. And he's hoping to kind of join a different pro circuit. Hopefully we're looking at moving, so he'll join a different circuit. And
I want to hear all about that too. I guess you just talked about it, so let's hear about what are you thinking doing?
We're really not sure. We were having just like super open-minded about everything, but obviously I really feel like I benefit from training at altitude, and so that's kind of been the next big thing for me is just getting back to an altitude place and seeing if there's any groups around that I might be interested in, or I know that I train well on my own as well, so if that's what works. I know that my husband, he wants to continue doing pro rodeo too, but he also really enjoys coaching, so he's hoping to coach a rodeo team, and I think he'd be excellent at that. So
like, is there certain spots? Like, could you go to a Boulder? Are there places for him to coach there? Could you go to Utah? I mean, I feel like Utah would have places. I don't know of like where he could go that would also complement you.
For sure. I think we looked at kind of Colorado area, or even just like southern Wyoming, like right on the border.
Okay.
Could be a cool place, could be an option. Or we haven't looked at Utah much, but I'm sure there's something. It's honestly just a lot of also finding land for his horses, because with what he does, he has horses and all of that. So that's kind of half the battle too. But we're very open-minded in Boulder area. Definitely not like Boulder itself, but definitely the outskirts.
Outskirts of it. Yeah. Well, we'll put that into the atmosphere for the universe, whatever you say, for you too, because I think that's really cool. So right now, your coach from Arkansas is still coaching you.
Yes. Yeah. Mark Burns is coaching me, and he's wonderful. He's great. I think that was also a huge turning point in my career was when he came to Arkansas. Like I said, it was like during a time when I was honestly thinking that was kind of going to be it for me in the sport. And I do think a lot of runners reach a point like that in their career, but I was just so thankful to have been at that point and then been able to have someone that still believed in me. Because, I mean, when he met me, I was not running well at all. I don't think I was even running at the time. I think it was a lot of cross training. He saw my cross season, and I was like, yeah, that was not good. And he just like truly turned it around for me and went back to like the things that I enjoy about it, and was super open to kind of a really flexible schedule after I got married, being in Missouri. and then still kind of competing for Arkansas, like making it down for practices and stuff. He was very flexible with all of that and super supportive. We work really well together. So yeah, that's just been truly a blessing.
It is so nice when you have a coach that understands that life outside of the run is more important. I mean, obviously, you and I both, like, this was my profession. It is your profession. It is something that we live for, probably think of more than anything in life, is when our
Absolutely.
runs and how we can be better and all that. But I really appreciate when a coach or your team around you understands that your marriage is more important, your family is more important. Like, even sometimes another career isn't necessarily more important, but it is important. And, I find that if you have that relationship with a coach that understands that, it gives you that joy back to really want to race hard and work out hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like exactly what it was too, is just like I I think he even knew that I was kind of on that fine line of like, I don't think I want
Yeah.
to do this anymore. Like
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it. And I think he kind of was like, but what if you keep trying, and like what if like something great happens, and what if it doesn't? Like you're
Yeah.
still going to be okay, but like is it a risk kind of worth taking to you? And just absolutely wonderful, and kind of was great about me getting married in September, because again, when we were planning the wedding, I was like, well, I'm not gonna have cross country to worry about. I'm done. And
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 he
then
was
come
like,
to find
no,
out that
you're
he's like,
not
no.
done yet for Arkansas. We need a little bit more.
Yeah. And then he came to the wedding, so it was
Oh,
great.
and you know what? I've heard that college coaches kind of have to either be like all in and go to all their or all their athletes' weddings, or they say no to every single one of them.
Yeah, so he might have started off
Oh,
bad there, but he came to mine. So
that is so funny. So let's talk a little bit about Arkansas. You've mentioned quite a bit of it, but did you still have some eligibility when you turned pro?
no, I
You were
actually
done.
used it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had, I guess it would have been a cross season and an indoor season for like a 5th year. That's all I had. I used all
Okay.
my outdoor.
You did.
hmm
Okay. So it was pretty easy for you to decide to go pro and to have Mike stay as your coach.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was pretty, it made sense after
Mm-hmm.
all of that. It was just like, yeah, this is the perfect situation. It was kind of funky. I think not a lot of people go pro after that weird, like in March. So I think it was just kind of
Yeah.
weird, because it was like one day I was in college, and then one day it was like, you're a pro now. Like
Yeah.
there was no transition
Yeah.
whatsoever, but I think it was good. Just throw me to the wolves.
And you've done a little bit now as a pro. You've run a little on the roads now, and then you've been on the track. So what do you like? What's your favorite, or do you like it all?
Um, Probably, I don't know. I really like them both. I thought that I would just absolutely love the roads more. And I
Mm-hmm.
do. I love the roads so much. And I think I've found a bunch of great success there so far, especially as I
Yeah.
kind of learn how it works. And, I love kind of having challenges that aren't just like a flat circle. I like the hills and the turns and just like the conditions. I think I really like that. But I actually found some success in track too, which I think
Gosh.
was kind of unexpected. Um, Track has kind of been one of those things where either I'm on or I'm not on.
Yeah.
And I I felt like this year I was just in a great spot, especially going into USA's, and thought, why not? I feel good, and I haven't raced a 10K on the track since it had been over a year at that point, and so had some fun with it.
I mean, I would say. So you get on the track and you're running in New York City at USATF. You had some confidence coming into it, though. I mean, you had some good results.
I think so. Yeah, I was excited going into it, and I had just spent about a month and a half at altitude, so I was like, okay, I have all the benefits that I would need, I suppose. So, yeah, it felt really good going into it.
So when you were at altitude, where exactly were you?
I spent most of my time in Rawlins, where I grew up. It's
In
around
Wyoming.
7,000 feet.
Okay. Oh, it's that high there.
It is, yeah. It's like high plains desert, so it's just windy desert in the mountains.
And then tell me about who you run with. Anyone? Or are you strictly on your own? Does your husband run with you at all? Like, does he ride his horse?
It's We talked about that. We thought maybe we should start
Do you
doing
know
that.
Julia Stamps? I don't know if you remember that name. She was a stud. She's a little bit younger than me. Ranford Stanford. She's quite a bit older than you, but she won Foot Locker twice.
I think I
And
might. I recognize the name.
yeah, she used to train. Her mom used to ride her horse in front of her or
Really?
on the side of her or something like that. But yeah, it's an idea.
Wow. Wow. No, but for me, it's just me out there, really.
Okay.
Occasionally my husband will bike with me sometimes.
Okay.
He will do that on if I'm really bored. But yeah, I really enjoy running alone anyways, so it works out great. But that's exactly what I grew up doing, so I feel like I just really wanted to go back to my roots and kind of go back to what made me enjoy it so much, and I think it accomplished just that. I really loved getting to go back and run my old routes and kind of be back with my family and, hometown stuff.
It's so cool to see how you ran that 10,000 meters. I mean, you ran it like the first half you were with everybody, right? And then you just cranked
So slow too.
it out. It was slow, and you had enough wherewithal to like calm yourself, not be the one to jump out and start pushing the pace. Like, this was a national championship. How hot was it that day?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I feel like I was trying not to think about it. If it was going to be hot, it was going to be hot. But then I was so thankful.
There was some heat to deal with out there that weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It was warm out there for sure. But I think it was almost nice when we started out slow because I was like, this will be great. We won't get too hot right off the bat, and we'll just hang out for probably about like 18 minutes. So
that's crazy because I read, I don't know where I read it, but you were like, during the middle of the race, you're like, wait, I could win this thing.
I think maybe everyone thought that. I don't know. We were all there together, and I was like, this is nuts. But I mean, it was awesome, and I felt really good, and I think I just had so much confidence going into it too that it was like, no matter who makes a move or if I make a move, like, I'm going to be okay. I just need to be right here and ready for it. And then it was kind of like, I think I just kind of was like, I'm strong and I feel good, and let's see who can hang and make it hurt a little bit. About 5K to go.
That's so cool. Was your husband there to watch you?
He was. Yes. He hasn't been able to watch one race yet. He's watched them live, but he hasn't been able to be there in person until that one. It was really special. He was there. My family flew in from Wyoming as well, so I had a huge cheering crowd.
What was that like when you crossed the finish line and, to know you are a first-time pro, like this is your first U.S. championship as a pro, and you win the whole thing? I mean, it's a big, big deal, and it's something that you will be able to say for the rest of your life. So what was that like for you?
I mean, it was just incredibly special. I think even it took me a few days to even kind of register what happened, just because going into that race, it was like, I want to win. I'm going to compete like I can win. But at the same time, I'm a rookie, and these girls have been racing, and they know how to race in these championship situations. But it was just kind of throughout that whole final 5K, it was like, this could be anyone's day, honestly. Yeah. Like, you never know, but I knew I felt really good, and it was super cool to, have my husband there and my family there. I think that just gives you another level of like push when you really need it, is just knowing that they're there. They came all this way to watch you. And I think with probably about 800 to go, I just felt just like almost just like a sense of like, I feel really good. Like, this is hard, but like, I think I can do this. And just rounding like that final turn, it was like I knew. And I think that was just so special. It was like going down the final stretch, being like this is everything we worked for this season. Just so special. So yeah, and then obviously getting done and looking over, and my dad was jumping up and down. My husband was there. So yeah, just so special to have them all there in person.
Yeah, for real. You didn't stop there though. You came back and ran the 5,000 meters.
Yes. Yeah, I was a little nervous about it. I think the day after the 10K, I was like, yeah, I don't know. But but then again, I was like, I basically only raced a 5K at that point. So I think I just needed a day, did some easy running, some good New York style pizza. It was great. Nice. And then came back and again just was like, I have nothing to lose at this point. I think I'm training really well, and like, if nothing else from the 10K, I feel like I gained just like a sense of like, I do belong on the start line with some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And then just going into that 5K, I honestly felt really good. And then it was kind of like, you know, when it really started burning, I think I still probably had some lactic in there, but
Sure.
it was so much fun and honestly a really great race. I don't think it could have played out much better aside from maybe having a little bit more speed there at the
Yeah.
end when I needed it.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I want to know how you felt towing the line with someone like a Shelby Houlihan and an Emily Mackay and a Parker Valby, and those were the top three in the race, and you were right
Mhm.
behind them. So, like, what was that like when you towed the line? Were you like, okay, here I am, one of the best from the NCAA's, or here I am, USATF champion?
Right, and I think that's it, is like a whole new, like, I I do belong here on the line with them. I mean, those women are incredible, and, like, it's just crazy to even be on the same start line as them. I think that was just a dream growing up, like, these are people that I've looked up to, and so, like, being on the same start line with Shelby was just like, this is crazy. Like, this is a dream right now. So I was just like so honestly grateful to even be there that I think you don't even, I mean, surely I'm intimidated, but at the same time, it's like, this is so cool. Like, you just kind of want to soak it up and being able to race behind them and just see how kind of like how they do it and then see myself be right there. It's like a confidence booster as well, but it's just so special to kind of be in the same field as them and race with them and then be able to talk to them after the race and they talk to you like you're a friend, and I think that's so special.
It is. It's the best part about our, I don't know if it's our country. I feel like it's a lot of the different countries around the world that we race against, but our sport, but that camaraderie that we have afterwards, even if we really want to beat each other, really bad, we still
Mhm.
have that respect for each other. And I think the more you go through this, the more friends you're going to get that you're still going to want to beat like crazy. It's a really cool place to be and it's really fun. I'm excited for the future. Tell me a little bit about the future. Like I'm really proud of you for sticking to your guns and taking a break. It's really hard to say no to races. And there were some races that you could have definitely jumped into. So what is
Mhm.
next? Like, are you racing at all this fall? Are you going to just back off now and get going again?
Yeah, I think my plan as of right now is to hopefully maybe try and do a half marathon
Okay.
um coming up this fall. Um Maybe November-ish. We'll see. We'll kind of see how it goes. I'm definitely taking this comeback from my break super slow, super easy, just doing like very simple, easy runs so far, nothing
Mm-hmm.
crazy at all, which has been really nice. And I've even like been able to do like some trail running and stuff like that that I don't usually get to do because it's, yeah, exactly. Just like some fun things like that. But nothing serious. I think that's been a huge thing for me is just being able to take a break, and kinda like you said, it is so hard, and it is incredibly hard actually to just
Yeah.
be like, especially when I feel like I was coming off of a place where that was the fittest I've ever been, and
Right.
it's like, it's so, like, taunting that it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I could race another race and just keep going, but, I really have been going since cross country
Yeah.
in college, like,
Yeah.
last fall, and I just felt like it was, like, your last cross season, well, now it's your last indoor season, and now you're a pro, and so it was, like, one thing after another. So I do think it was important to take the break, but yeah, I'm just gonna take the comeback a little slow and
Mm-hmm.
not too stressful, and then jump in a race if I feel good, and
Well,
then
come to
kinda go from
Minnesota
there.
because the US 10K championships are October. Well, maybe that's a little quick, but it's like October 3rd or something like that. Then I'd get
We'll
to see you
see.
here in person.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun too. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on the lookout. I
Yeah.
love racing, so
Yeah.
I that is one thing is if I could race every weekend,
I
I think
know.
I
I
would.
know. What I have next is some fun questions that I think will get to know you a little bit more. It's kind of between you and your husband. So it's
Oh, sweet.
runner or cowboy is what I named it. They're rapid fire.
Yay, okay.
Yeah, Rondot is the sponsor of my rapid fire question. So I'm going to give you two different kinds this week. The first section is runner or cowboy, and the second one is my normal. rapid fire. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
So, this is you or your husband. Who's more competitive?
Me. Runner.
Oh,
For sure.
okay.
All the way. And it makes me mad because sometimes he's very good at his stuff and I like...
Oh, I love it. I love it. I would like to be a fly on your wall. Okay, who spends more money on their sport?
Cowboy.
I figured.
100%.
Who travels with more gear?
Ooh, Cowboy.
I think a lot of this is going to be Cowboy.
He has a whole trailer
I'm
and all
sure.
that stuff, so...
Yeah. Who gets more nervous before competing?
Me. Runner.
Oh, the runner. Okay.
He doesn't get nervous.
He doesn't? How do you not?
I know. He's just like, whatever.
Oh my gosh. I suppose he has to be kind of fearless. Like, you have to be.
I guess, like, his reasoning was, like, your horse can sense if you're nervous, so.
Oh, so you have to keep it calm. Okay. I trained with a couple jockeys. Well, former jockeys. And it's just fascinating to hear. Like, they lived in Louisville, and it is so fun to hear how they, train their horses and things like that.
It's very, very different, I've come to find out.
Yeah. Okay. Who has the more dangerous job? When I was thinking about this, I was like, there are some, running doesn't seem very dangerous, but then there are some dangerous things.
I'd probably say him, mostly because I do think he could lose a finger any day, and I just feel like that would be unfortunate.
Oh, from the rope.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Forgot about that. Who is more likely to train when they're supposed to take a day off?
Me.
Runner, Sydney.
Yeah, that is, I've tried to be better about it, but.
Okay, we'll let that go. As you get older, you need to make sure you take more rest days. You can get away with it when you're younger.
Yeah, I'm doing a whole lot better than I am.
Okay, gotcha.
But good. It's just that mindset.
Sorry, big sister came out. Okay, who has the crazier fans? Runners or Cowboys?
Ooh. That's a tough one, actually.
Really?
I almost feel like runners would, and I say that because I do feel like there are plenty of people that know my stats more than I know my stats, and I feel like that just probably makes you probably a crazy fan. But I will say there's a lot of rodeo fans. There's probably, I don't know about more, but there's a lot.
I feel like there's probably more like fangirls for your husband.
Certainly, yes.
It's funny. I mean, who doesn't like a cowboy? Sorry. Whenever my husband comes home from he used to be in landscaping, and I would love it. He'd be dirty, and he'd have his boots on, and he'd be so tan, so cute, and then he'd come out in his running clothes, and we'd go for a run, and I'm like, it was much cuter when you were in your dirty jeans, but I love that he could run with me as well.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, last one on runner or cowboy. Who would be better trying the other person's sport?
That's interesting because I do actually feel like both of us kind of dabble in each other's sports.
Really?
Yeah, he's been doing some running. He'll run. He's been running pretty consistently, actually. So, he'll kind of run, but I also ride. So, and he's teaching me how to rope. So it's
that's so cool.
It's a little bit of both. I think that could be either. That could go either way.
Okay, I like it. Well, maybe he'll have to run some of these races, and we'll get a camera on him too. Okay, now these are my
I'm trying
normal.
to convince him.
Yeah, we should. These are my normal rapid fire. So it's like this or that. Bulls or bikes?
Bulls or bikes?
Mm-hmm. Would you rather ride a bull or a bike?
Oh, a bike.
Oh, have you ever
100%.
tried those electric bulls?
Actually, no.
Oh, I've tried it once. It is not good. It was not good for me.
I'm too scared.
Yeah, me too. Okay, boots or heels?
Boots.
Oh, they're so cute. I love it. Hats or bandanas?
Hats.
Bandanas are coming in, though.
They are in, but I can't figure out how to tie it.
Me neither.
So
they'd be cuter on you because you're younger. I'm an old lady. It's not so cute. But cowboy hats will never go out of style. Okay, more nerve-wracking. The click of the gate, like from your husband when you hear that gate go, or a starter's pistol?
Starter's pistol.
Yeah? You don't get real nervous for your husband?
I do, but I know that he's not nervous, so therefore,
Yeah,
like, I'm less
that's
nervous.
nice.
But when the race is about to start, it's like, this is on me. Like, I gotta do this.
Yeah. And I bet he's really nervous for you too.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay, mountains or flat?
Mountains.
80s rock or reggae?
80s.
Watch races or watch rodeos?
Rodeo.
Really? You'd rather watch that? I mean, you have to kind of
I
say
think
that.
so. Yeah.
Bake cakes or cookies? I've heard that you like to bake. I was reading
Oh.
somewhere.
I actually just baked both. One of my friends just got engaged, and I did a cake and cookies. So this is really tough. I'd probably say cookies though, because they're more like grab and go.
Yeah.
I like cookies.
Love it. Okay. Pre-med, which I read that you were going to do, or vet tech. So stick with animals.
Vet tech.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're doing that sort of, right? Like you work with horses?
Yeah. Yeah, I own my own equine bodywork business. So it's like I work on horses and I do like massage and laser and cryotherapy. It's super cool. Yeah, it's awesome. I do that, and then I'm also getting my vet tech right now. So
Yeah.
hopefully I'll have that, and I still love working with animals. I feel like that's what I do in my free time. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. But I was looking at vet school actually when I was in college is what I was going to do, and then with running and everything.
What did you end up graduating with?
Animal science degree.
You did? Okay, so I must have read an old bio that said pre-med.
I was pre-med when I first went to Arkansas. I definitely was going to go more physician route, but then I kind of realized that I loved medicine and I loved like the medical sciences and stuff like that, but I was just not compelled for like anything in that field. My mom's a nurse, and so I liked the idea of that, but just kind of it all came back to like I really enjoy working with animals, especially large animals like livestock and stuff. So yeah, it just was like a natural choice. Yeah.
I love that it all came together. I mean, really, you're still helping just a different species, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, last one. Run fast times or win races?
That is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say win races, and not because it's about winning, but just because I do feel like there's plenty of races where you're not running fast, but it's like a hard course, or it's like something, there's like a cool story behind it. I feel
I'm
like,
all about that.
Yeah. You run through your first 400 in 100 seconds in the 10K at USA Nationals. Yeah, that sort of thing.
I sort of hate when people ask me for my PRs because I was like, if you knew me as a runner, that really wasn't something I ever chased. I had to chase the clock for the Olympic trials, you know, or the Olympic Games. But still, even then, I was hoping that my place would just come with a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, in theory, it should, but at the same time, like I was hoping, I think my 10K PR on the outdoor track it's not terrible, but it was from like my sophomore year, and I haven't been able to run a fast time since. So I was almost hoping that USA's would be fast so I could kind of do better with that. But
you have plenty of time, lady. And we can't wait to watch you continue on in your early stages of this pro career. Congratulations on everything. And good luck to your husband as well. Keep getting after it, you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining me today on See Tolle Run. My guest today was Sydney Thorvaldson Vaught. You can follow Sydney at Instagram at Sydney_Vaught_. Her last name is spelled Vaught. Before we go, a big shout out to Run.Dot for supporting the show, and to Andrew Harley and to Sarah Burney, the amazing producers behind not only See Tolle Run, but also Try.Dot and Run.Dot. And another big thank you to Tailwind Nutrition for supporting this episode. If you'd like to give Tailwind a try, head on over to tailwindnutrition.com and use the code TOLLE20 for 20% off your order. And finally, if you love this pod, we'd love your support. Take a minute to leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and share See Tolle Run with your friends. It really does help people find our show. As always, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram at See Tolle Run or at Carrie Tollefson, and you can visit us anytime at SeeTolleRun.com. Thank you so much for joining us today, and don't forget to get after it.